Welcome back to Lariat TV News. Thanks for joining us. This week we're bringing you a cultural exposition right here on campus. I'm Giara Cottingham.
And I'm Katie Kempf. Before we get into that, some students are rallying for a cause that hits closer to home than you might think. It's been just over 1 month since Hamas launched a surprise attack on Israel. One group on Baylor's campus came together in prayer over the conflict. LTVN's Giara Cottingham has a story.
The young women of America are witnessing large numbers of pro-Palestine and pro-Hamas gatherings at college campuses across America. At the Sub Bowl in support for Israel, a peaceful prayer vigil took place Wednesday afternoon, standing to protect and promote biblical values.
There are over 200 hostages being held in the Gaza Strip. And so if you will bow your heads with me and pray for
education and national sovereignty being a few of the chapter's core values, support for Israel is now one of them.
This is one of our core values. It has been, like Annabelle mentioned, for the past 20 years. It was our last core value to be added.
We're in the battle against evil. We're not in a battle against pro-Palestinian people or the Palestinian people. We're just in a battle against evil, and we just wanted to pray and let people who do stand for Israel, let them know that we're here to pray for them. Let the Jewish population on Baylor's campus let them know that we're here for them.
The chapter gathered to invite an open-minded audience with purpose for
praying for all of the innocent people. We prayed for all innocent victims that have fallen victim to this, and I just wanted everybody to come with an open mind.
As an influencing chapter, they do not support the Israeli and Palestinian war, but believe in the Bible chapter of Genesis, establishing Israel as a nation by God.
To be a nation, and so that is our support, but we also don't advocate for war. We believe that, we are called as Christians to promote peace and to promote love.
Peace is their on-campus motive to supporting Jewish students and Israeli and connected people, in hopes that one day the two war parties are in good relations.
The goal, that is what we want, is we want peace to be restored.
To learn more about Young Women for America's goals, visit their Instagram at YW4A. At the Sub Bowl for Lariat TV News, I'm Giara Cottingham.
Baylor's 8th annual Asian Fest brought culture and language to life in Waco Hall, taking center stage, literally. Hannah Joseph gives you all the details.
The 8th annual Baylor Asian Fest was held Friday, promoting Asian culture, but one group of girls representing China had an outstanding performance.
This was actually a cover of different videos from China that we covered, and it's important to us because a lot of the choreography is centered around the traditional Chinese dance or Chinese culture.
And they certainly stole the show.
Culture is definitely a lot different from Western American culture, so it's a really great opportunity to get to know a lot more about the Asian culture.
The fest not only displayed more than 7 Asian cultures, but held a banquet promoting diversity and awareness the following Saturday. For more information, you can visit Baylor Asian Student Association at BaylorCampusLabs.com. For Lariat TV News, I'm Hannah Joseph.
Texans know all about Friday Night Lights, but in Waco we also have Monday Night Lights. It's a mountain bike riding club and it meets monthly at Bicycle World on University Parks Drive. 10 people joined the first ride last week, taking off on the hour-long bike hike. In their nighttime safety gear, the cyclists head to Cameron Park Trails at 6:15 p.m.
The community is just awesome. Everybody that likes mountain biking, is generally a really chill person, and all the people that we ride with are always super, friendly and welcoming. And so this is the first one, and we're excited to get it going.
For experienced bike riders looking to join the club, find out future details at visitbicycleworld.com. Baylor staff and students came together Saturday morning to plant and dedicate trees for the celebration of Arbor Day. Claire Goodyear tells you how even one sapling makes a difference.
For many, Thanksgiving is the next holiday worth celebrating, but part of the Baylor community came together last weekend to celebrate a lesser-known day.
We decided that we needed to celebrate Arbor Day. And so working with Jeff Floyd in facilities, we found out that Arbor Day in Texas is this first Friday and Saturday in November. And so we worked with them to locate some trees that were going to be planted and kind of dedicate them to the day for the celebration.
Celebrating Arbor Day helps Baylor achieve a goal that is almost in reach.
Arbor Day Foundation promotes all of these things about trees, about the importance of trees, but one reason that we're interested in getting more involved with Arbor Day Foundation is because we want to become a Tree Campus USA.
Tree Campus USA is a program that allows college campuses to receive national recognition for their natural environments, and Baylor students were allowed the chance to help out.
We had the opportunity to go out with our professor and see the location in front of Truett where some of the trees were planted, and they had a tree expert that kind of just explained everything to us and talked about why the trees are planted, just the importance of Arbor Day, which is really informative.
Trees serve the world in more than one way.
I think it's really important that all people learn about the value of trees. So not only the aesthetic value of trees, I mean, we always feel good under trees and trees are beautiful, but they also provide so much for the world.
I think it's really important to bring more awareness to the environment in Baylor, especially with climate change and everything going on in the world. We really need to take care of what we have.
Having this beautiful campus, it's just a reflection of a caring community of professors taking care of our beautiful campus.
Prioritizing the care of trees can benefit not only Baylor's campus, but also the world.
I hope that we are improving the campus by learning more about the trees on campus, and I hope that by learning more about trees, students will appreciate their value more. Our goal is beyond teaching them biology is to help them care for their environment and appreciate the value that trees have.
By celebrating Arbor Day, Baylor strives to prioritize and protect trees. For Lariat TV News, I'm Claire Goodyear.
Books and baked goods are the best duo for a rainy day, and Thursday a Baylor group teamed up to bring those two things together. The English Graduate Student Association hosted a book and bake sale on the bottom floor of Carroll Science Building, raising money for the needs of the program. The grad students provided the books and baked goods right from their own homes.
All of the graduate students who are within the English department, they try and fund various events. And so to do that, we do need money. And so it also is an opportunity for us and people associated with us to clear out some of our bookshelves, which get very full, and share those with other people in the broader community.
Thinking about graduation can be scary, and for seniors, that transition is right around the corner. But the Career Center says when it comes to entering the job market, graduation anxieties can be minimized with their help. LTVN's Danica Young tells you why.
As this semester nears its end, anxieties about graduation are just beginning.
There are real concerns and real fears, and of course we've all experienced that. We've all been through that as well, so we understand it.
Amy Rylander, director at the Career Center, says Baylor has the best resources of any university when it comes to job placement. And it's time students take advantage of that.
Sometimes students are embarrassed because they haven't started the search and they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
It's okay. Don't be embarrassed. We've all been there. I didn't know what I wanted to do when I graduated either.
But she figured it out, and with Baylor's 90% placement rate, she's confident graduating seniors will too.
Don't focus on what your major was. Your degree is the most important piece of that. And you have that piece of paper that says, I can finish something. All you have to do is relate to people what the skills are that you know how to do and what you're good at.
And it's never too late to start looking.
It's not too late. There's still plenty of jobs. There's still plenty of opportunities.
Connect with the Career Center during their open house next week on Fountain Mall. For Lariat TV News, I'm Danica Young.
Up next, we're bringing you one student's small business turned full-time job.
And the Baylor community is investing in STEM excellence with students in the Waco area. Keep it here.
Let there be light. Let there be roommates and teammates and strangers who become family. Let there be marching and cheering. Let there be challenging courses and time to share. Scholarship and championships. Let there be groundbreaking and soul-searching. Let there be laughter. Let there be joy. Let there be light.
Last year, Lariat TV News covered a small business at Baylor called My Girl Tees. And now, in just 1 year, the business has a new face. Caitlin Sides gives you a brand new look.
This time last year, Allie Paschke was balancing her school life and her part-time small business, My Girl Tees. Now, a year later, her business has taken off and since rebranded. Hey Lovely is her online boutique that has been in the works since 2020. She rebranded her small business in September, and the name stems from her mother always calling her Lovely.
I thought My Girl Tees wasn't very fitting, and so I was like, I need a brand name that could potentially be a boutique name in the future.
Paschke said the name Hey Lovely fit her business goals the most, especially since she doesn't focus on selling t-shirts anymore. In the last month, she switched to running her business full-time because it had a major increase in sales.
Orders from September, we went to like 40 orders a month to October's orders was almost 400. So a big jump for sure, but as soon as I saw those numbers, I was like, okay, I think we can do this. There's definitely some hope in it.
She works over 40 hours a week, including posting content for her Instagram followers and going live on TikTok.
If you were to view it like full time, so I would put in the hours on live just as much as a full-time job, so 40 hours on live a week.
In the last year, Paschke has graduated from Baylor and got married and is now able to focus on her business with her husband. In the midst of searching for jobs post-graduation, there was a waiting period where she was able to solely work on her business, and she realized she could do this for the rest of her life.
It's one thing to put the hours into, but I feel like it's never felt like a startup because there hasn't been a week where it's like, oh my goodness, I sold nothing this week. And a lot of startups go through a season like that, but she hasn't had that. And so from that aspect, it's been really cool to see and watch it grow.
Hey Lovely remains an online boutique as of now, but in the future, she hopes to own a brick and mortar storefront boutique. For Lariat TV News, I'm Caitlin Sides.
Last spring, Baylor Rush took over TikTok as girls posted their recruitment week outfits. But this year, some of those outfits might make a reappearance, but not in the way you think. Baylor's Pan-Hellenic Council is emphasizing a more equitable recruitment process by encouraging active sorority members to donate clothing that can be bought by girls going through recruitment in January. All proceeds are going to the Pan-Hellenic Wide Philanthropy Circle of Sisterhood.
You know, a lot of potential new members feel the pressure to purchase a whole new wardrobe for recruitment week. However, that's not something a lot of people can do or maybe even just don't want to do. And so Pan-Hellenic Provisions is an opportunity for them to shop affordable and cute clothes that are donated from active members of sororities right now.
Donations are being accepted now until November 13th. The sale will be December 2nd through 6th from 5 to 8:30 at the Stacy Riddle Forum.
From Big Bend Ranch to Galveston Island, George Bristol knows all about Texas state parks and came to Baylor to give us a lesson. Bristol is the author of Texas State Parks, the First 100 Years, and the book explores just how the first state park came to be and shares the history over the years. Bristol says he wrote the book during the pandemic, and this is officially the last book he will ever write.
And no one called me for coffee or tea or anything, and so all I could do was write, read, and research.
Bristol spoke heavily of the Texas government throughout his lecture, which included former Texas Governor Pat Neff. After the event, many people lined up for a signed book. With a guest composer from California, wind filled Baylor's performance halls with music. LTVN's Macy Krause brings you on the musical journey.
Renowned Baylor Wind Ensemble's last fall concert ended on a powerful note. Conductor Eric Wilson came to Baylor 18 years ago, fostering a special connection with his students.
It's been an incredible opportunity to work with some really fine young people, great human beings, incredible artists and musicians that are very passionate and very disciplined about what they do.
They might be saying goodbye, but they'll keep a part of the music with them. The connections they've made throughout the years was a common theme.
I look over to my left and right, and I just know those people, and I love them dearly. We have a lot of fun. We hang out outside of rehearsals all the time. It's definitely the people that makes it easy to come play music together.
This might be the last time I, play with my friends.
It's my last wind ensemble concert ever, so I'm sad to go, but I'm excited to go teach and take what Dr. Wilson and all my other professors have taught me and take that to the schools that I'll be teaching.
Behind the powerful music, another is to be celebrated. Guest composer Xu Ying Li had the experience of interacting with students, bringing her pieces to life.
Having her come specifically, it just brought a different light to the piece. Knowing her intention with the piece, because it is so abstract, really helped us give our all to it.
That's been my mission, to share and to echo with people. So, people receive my music differently, but usually I'm able to build the connection with the performer, with the audience. So that's the really special part of making music.
Through Excellence, the last piece celebrated a composition written for their medium, which takes place at the state convention on February 5th. To learn more, you can check out their Instagram at BU Wind Ensemble. At Glennis McCrary Hall, for Lariat TV News, I'm Macy Krause.
Baylor researchers partnered with 3 local schools in STEM projects for students to encourage an affinity for science, technology, and engineering. Last week, Baylor professor Sarah Keenley gave students at Hines Elementary School an interactive lesson about leopard seals and marine animals in the Antarctic. The passion for science has led her to some incredible places like Antarctica, lagoons in Chile, and remote islands in Mexico. Keenley traveled the world to answer questions that are foundational to our understanding of the world and the animals that live in it. She said it brings her joy to feel like an explorer.
I love working with kids because the questions they ask are so on point. They're exactly the questions I'm doing a ton of research and trying to get a ton of grant money to answer, but they're thinking like scientists at such a young age. And so I just love seeing that curiosity, and that's my goal, right, in doing outreach activities, is for students to keep that curiosity and keep asking questions, to understand that we don't know the answers to basic questions they're asking, which is why science, biology is so important.
If you would like to read the Lariat dating as far back as 1916 or see a collection of historic Texas artifacts, then we know just the place for you. Items range from newspapers to books, photographs, and artifacts related to Texas history that have been collected throughout the years. If you want to find specific artifacts or are just curious, you can search on the Carroll Library catalog or shoot the library staff an email.
Collection was started in 1923. We are celebrating our centennial this year. So 100 years of the Texas collection. We collect books, manuscript collections, photographs, maps, basically anything two-dimensional related to Texas history.
Next, the wait is over and Baylor basketball is back.
And another top Baylor program just got a tough schedule.
Ranked Baylor men's basketball is coming off a huge win against Auburn and returned to Waco to roll over John Brown in their home opener. Braden Murray brings you the details.
20th ranked Baylor men's basketball played their last home opener at the Farrell Center this week, beating John Brown University 96-70.
Just to get our home game started off right, we always want to try to win as many games as possible as we can at the Farrell, but with it being the first game, it was great to start and give us a little momentum going into the next home game.
The Bears were able to utilize their depth this game, scoring 52 points off the bench. Compare that to John Brown's meager 15. Langston Love led all scorers with 20 points. And Josh Ajanwuna led all players with 10 rebounds. Both players came off the bench.
Different guys step up and do different things, and Langston was really good. He gave us a good lift, and I know as a coach, it's good to have guys coming off the bench. Eve continues to improve, and he'll have some of the best highlight dunks, I think, or in blocks by the time he's done here that we've had.
In the second half, the Bears turned up the defense, forcing 13 turnovers and 3 blocks. At one point, going on a 21-5 run, expanding their lead to 91-62. Late in the game, Ray J. Dennis forced a turnover on back-to-back possessions, leading to a fast break dunk both times.
I feel like we have a really high ceiling defensively, and it's still early in the year. I mean, you can't win a championship in November, but I think we have a really high ceiling defensively, and we show spurts right now.
The Bears play 6 more games in the Farrell Center, with the next one being against Gardner-Webb. For Lariat TV News, I'm Braden Murray.
Baylor women's basketball started their season off strong Monday with a win against Southern and a milestone accomplishment for one of their own. Here's the breakdown. Baylor women's basketball started their season Monday with their 14th straight season opening victory, beating Southern 85-53. The Bears had a slower first half, going into the break only winning 37-29.
First game in front of a crowd like that, new starting lineup kind of too. I think it was just getting over that hump of, okay, it's really here, the season's really here. I think once everybody calmed down, you started to see us play Baylor basketball.
Coach Collins said that the team needs to work on consistency and adjustments throughout the game in order to be successful earlier on.
I mean, this was a team that really picked on matchups, and I think we've got to adjust better. There's no question we can't get beat on the same play 3 or 4 times and make the same mistake.
After the half, Baylor was able to get up on the Jaguars, ending the third quarter with nearly a 20-point lead.
Mickey said how we want to play the whole season is how we need to start right now. And I think that's what we did. I think we started like a little like we were back and forth, but I think coming together and moving the ball, we finally found what we needed during that game.
Sarah Andrews had quite the night, crossing the 1,000 career point threshold.
No, I didn't know until Coach Nikki, when she pulled me out, she told me. I was like, oh, snap, like, it's kind of cool.
Dre Edwards also gave Baylor an offensive boost, scoring 20 points throughout the game.
Love her rim running. You know, I think that's something that's going to be consistent. She's probably going to play more than 19 minutes in most games. And, you know, I think she's someone that's starting to read our actions.
The Lady Bears will be back in action in the Farrell on November 14th to take on Utah. For Lariat TV News, I'm Claire Marie Scott. Baylor football is looking to continue their away winning streak versus Kansas State Saturday. The Bears are now the losingest team at home in the entire FBS, and to make a bowl game, they have to win their last 3 games, starting with Kansas State. The Bears have won the past 2 games in Manhattan, but the Wildcats took the win in Waco last season. K-State is the reigning Big 12 champion and once again are having a strong season with a 4-2 record in conference play.
They're a primary run, so they're going to find a way to run the ball, either whether it's the running back, quarterback, and then they're going to open up sometimes and throw it to the tight end. So we pretty much know like who they are, so we just got to pretty much execute on our own.
It's the 21st meeting between the 2 teams. Kickoff is at 2 p.m. Baylor's softball schedule was just released, and the Bears are set to face new conference opponents, as well as some serious non-conference opponents. In his 24th year, head coach Glenn Moore will lead his team first against one of the last 4 standing in the 2023 Women's College World Series, Tennessee in Waco, before facing Notre Dame and the Oregon Ducks. Moving into conference play, the Bears open with Oklahoma State in March and then move to take down conference newcomers along with old conference rivals, including the reigning national champions, the Oklahoma Sooners. Baylor says season ticket interest forms are open now. It's looking like, for the time being at least, Baylor is a basketball school. We'll keep you up to date on every dunk, basket, and rebound. And as spring seasons are just around the corner, we'll have all the latest on your favorite Baylor programs. For now, that wraps up sports. Back to you, ladies.
Well, that wraps up this week for Lariat TV News. Be sure to check our Lariat socials for all things Baylor and Waco news.
We'll see you Wednesday for our early Thanksgiving newscast. We hope to see you there. Have a great week, Baylor family, and as always, sick 'em Bears.